Beep beep, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day today. Here we are traveling east on Route 322, just east of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We just got off at the Hummelstown exit, and up here where this off-ramp ends is South Hanover Street. And we're going to make a left on it and go into Hummelstown. And we are looking for the Olde Factory Antiques and Crafts, which is another one of these antique malls that is basically reusing an old factory. I don't know what they made at this factory, and I didn't research it, so I apologize for that. But it's down this road, and we'll take you right to it. This is the first of 6 antique malls that we visited on a Saturday not that long ago, and I will have a series of videos for each one of the 6. So stay tuned for that. I may mix in a couple things to open between them, but I will get through all 6 of them eventually. And the antique mall is right here. And we just make this sharp turn and go into the parking lot, and whoops. Somebody really wanted to get that spot. And this is the side of the antique mall, and it has 3 floors. And I think there's one of those Italian ice places right there to the left. And we go inside, and the first case I come across has a pretty nice selection of cards in it. None of them have prices at the moment, but I will stumble across a price somewhere on here. Right back there you can see a 78 Thurman Munson that they're selling for $15. And I think there's another one in there with the same price. And that was enough for me to think that this is just a little too pricey for my taste. $15 to me seems like more than twice what a 78 Topps Thurman Munson card should go for. But as you can see, they have baseball and football. I didn't bother checking to see what was in that box of cards that was 30% off. I mean, if the prices are double what retail is, then that 30% off just isn't going to cut it for me. But like I said, I didn't check it out, so I didn't have the time to go through that. Around that case, there's another case on the other side where there's nothing but a bunch of autos. And I guess most of these seemed like they were fair prices. I was particularly interested in that Key Brian Hayes one, but I decided not to get it and move on and check the rest of the store out. I will leave with some stuff, and we'll go over what I found at the end. There's a Bowman Complete sealed set there and a couple more cards. Nothing here really caught my eye. These seem more like cards that you would see in a dollar bin. And I think we're on the second floor now, and I found all these dollar packs of made-up packs from mostly 1980s baseball cards. You can see some 1982 Topps down there, and there's also some football cards. I have a lot of this already in my collection, so I didn't buy any. Also on this floor, I found some interesting, I don't know if these were handmade, but they're really cool looking. I mean, they even have the details of the seat inside that school bus, the seats in there. And there's one of them Hummers. And there's a few more wooden creations over here. Anytime I see something like this, it looks like it might have been handmade. It catches my eye. I end up filming it, even though we're focusing on baseball cards primarily on this channel. I sometimes will wander off and film things like a wooden crane that's going for $249. I have no idea if that's a fair price for that. Here's some rack packs of some Donruss cards, and these are $3 each. I think there's 91 in there. Some starting lineups. Looks like football mostly. There's some baseball there. And here's a bunch of packs of cards again. And I saw those 1977 ones down there caught my eye. The singles, I think they were mostly going for about $1 each. I did pick out one, and I did pick out a couple packs. We'll open up those at the end of the video. And also on that floor, I found a whole bunch of old, Tonka. I don't know if they're Tonka, but Tonka-like trucks and construction vehicles. That old thing there is going for $200. And I'll leave you with this booth. This is about all I found in there that had that was baseball card related. So we'll just go and look at all these old toys here. And in about a half a minute, we'll go over what I found here. That fire engine's pretty cool. Like the bulldozers too. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tour of Olde Factory Antiques and Crafts in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. So I definitely didn't buy anything from that case that had, well, it had a lot of really neat stuff in it, but once I saw the $15 price tag on the 1978 Thurman Munson, I decided to move on instead of asking to have the case open, because I am pretty sure that's about 3 times what that card is probably worth. Anyway, upstairs I did find some packs of beep beep vintage stuff. In addition to that, I found this finest franchises card of Kirby Puckett. This was only $1. I'm not sure what this goes for, but I thought I'd take a chance on that. I did not have that card in my collection, and it still has the whatever you call that seal that they put on these finest cards from back in the 90s. So there's that, and beep beep. Let's dig into these. I wouldn't surprise me if these are all commons, but I thought for $3 a pack, these might be worth just getting. This is 1977 tops. So we're gonna open up and see what we find inside. See if there's anything good. Whoops. Grimace here fell over. Move him over there. Get him out of the way. Okay, Ray Bear is our first one. Condition seems, I guess, very good to excellent maybe. It's got some wear on the corners, but overall a decent enough looking card. I guess we'll go around this way. Aurelio Rodriguez. Milt May. So it looks like mostly Tigers cards. There's Ben Ogilvy. He was a star back in the day, so we got one nice one there. That's pretty cool. Steve Grilly, Jim Crawford, Tom Verizor, later played with the Indians. Jason Thompson, I think this might be his rookie card. Not too bad shape. Corners look a little worn, but looks pretty clean otherwise. Another Aurelio Rodriguez, so it looks like nothing but Tigers cards. Chuck Scrivener, Dave Roberts, Vern Rule, who later pitched for the Astros. There's a reliever, John Hiller. I forget what year he did that. Maybe we can see on the back. I think it was 1973. He had a 10-5 record, 1.44 earned run average, and he set the single season record of saves at 38, which would later be broken in the early 80s, I think, by Bruce Sutter and Dan Quisenberry, and then eventually Dave Righetti, and then Bobby Thigpen. a lot of record breaking in the saves area. Then there's a Ron LaFleur on an all-star card there. Early card for him. Not sure if that's his rookie card or not. I don't think it is. Mickey Stanley. Willie Horton was a good player back in the day. Bruce Kim. Bill Freehan, that might be his last card, because I don't remember seeing him in the 78 set. So this, I think, is Bill Freehan's last Topps card. Really great catcher. Made a lot of all-star appearances. Pedro Garcia and Alex Johnson finishes this off. So this was all Tigers cards. And Alex Johnson won a batting title in 1970 with the Angels when he hit 329. So that's how I remember him. This could be his last Topps card. I'm not sure if he was in the 78 set or not. So all Tigers cards in that pack. So $3 wasn't too bad for that. Got a few of the star cards. Let's open this next one and see if it's just Cardinals cards. It looks like it is. Hector Cruz starts us off. Bob Forsch. Bob and Ken Forsch were both brother pitchers, like Phil and Joe Niekro and Gaylord and Jim Perry. Dave Rader. John D'Acquisto. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He has a, a Facebook page that I sometimes check out, and he keeps up with a lot of the players from back in his time period and tells a lot of the stories of his time in the big leagues. Mike Caldwell later became more famous when he pitched for the Brewers. Pete Falcone, he was later with the Mets. Mike Tyson. There's Keith Hernandez. Oh, it looks like we have a little bit of an issue up here in the corner. Looks like a possible water stain. Doesn't show on the back very well, but there's definitely some staining up here in the corner. Otherwise, this is not too bad of a card. It's really off center. The bottom border seems like it was cut. Some might call that a miscut. I tend to define miscuts as cuts that show a second card, either left, right, top, or bottom, or wherever on either the front or the back or both. Gary Templeton, I think this is his rookie card. I don't believe he's in the 76 set, and he later set a record for having, he's a switch hitter, and he had over 200 hits one year, and he had 100 on the left side and 100 on the right side. Pretty good player, and then ended up with the Padres. His batting numbers went down after he was with the Padres, but he did have a pretty long career, played into the late 80s, I believe. Joe Ferguson, John Denny, remember him. Al Raboski, good reliever back in the day. Lynn McLaughlin, Tom Walker, Don Kessinger, one of the better fielding shortstops of the 70s. Eric Rasmussen, Jerry Mumphrey, and Eric Rasmussen again. So not too bad. Let's check this one out. This one looks like it must be Indians. I didn't know these were team sets when I bought these. Just the fact that they were from 1977 and they were $3 was just enough to catch my attention. Rick Waits, Al Fitzmaurice, Wayne Garland. I don't remember seeing him pitch, but he did have a 20-win season back in 1976 with the Orioles, and I think it was the only one he had. Not sure what happened to him. His numbers kind of tanked after that. I'm guessing possibly an injury, but I'd have to look that up. If you know, please leave in the comments. John Lowenstein, he later played for the Orioles. He was a rather funny guy from the stories I've read about him. George Hendrick later played with the Cardinals in the 80s and a couple other teams after that. Pretty good player. This is pretty early in his career. Frank Duffy. Boog Powell. I don't believe this is his last card. I think the 78 set might have it, but I might be wrong about that because I just don't remember. This was long after he had his long career with the Orioles. He'd been with the Indians in 75 and 76, and at this point had 339 homers. Ray Fosse. Jim Kern had a couple really good years as a reliever. Later pitched with the Rangers. Don Hood. Pat Dobson. Jim Bibby. He had a pretty good year with, I think, the 1979 or 80 Pirates. I'm not sure which year was his better one, but he had a 19-win season there. Rick Manning, Dave LaRoche, Ron Pruitt, Jackie Brown, Laravel Blanks, Tom Buskey, and Buddy Bell, who had a pretty decent career as a third baseman. His WAR numbers are pretty decent. Not sure if we'll ever see him come close to Hall of Fame. I don't know. We'll see down the road. It'd probably be a long time down the road by a veterans committee, but he definitely was one of the top third basemen of the 70s and 80s. Dave LaRoche. But I suspect he probably won't make it. I think he's just below borderline. So this one has a 1976 card on the front, and there's a 72 card on the back. So this one will be curious. It looks like Cardinals. Mike Tyson, Al Raboski. Condition of these looks like they're a little bit better than the 77 ones we just looked at. Ken Reitz. There's Hall of Famer Ted Simmons. I don't think I have that card, so that's a nice one. Ron Fairley. Keith Hernandez again. That might be Keith Hernandez's second year card. His rookie card, I think, is in the 75 set. One of my favorite players, Bake McBride, better known for his years with the Phillies. I think did he play with the Giants, or am I getting him confused with Gary Maddox? But definitely one of my favorite players. Wish he could have played longer, but he had some sort of an eye injury when he was with the Indians after his time with the Phillies. Great hitter, good speed, good outfielder. Mario Guerrero, Luis Melendez, Buddy Bradford, Ron Reed. I remember him. He was with the Phillies for some time in the late 70s and into the 80s. I think he finished his career with one season with the White Sox, and he mostly played in the relief role for the Phillies, and he was a pretty good one at that. He put up some decent numbers, mostly in middle relief, but he did have a few saves. I think his last year he had 12 saves with the White Sox, but I definitely remember seeing him pitch many times growing up in the early 80s. So it's good to see Ron Reed. I also PC his card. So here's a 78 card thrown in the mix. That's John Urea. And another 77 Keith Hernandez. And this one does not have a stain on it. So I have a better copy of this. So that's pretty cool. And a 1970 Topps Dale Maxville. Oh, I'm not real familiar with. Kind of low-hitting shortstop. 222 average after several seasons. I think it said he was named to the Gold Glove All-Star fielding team in '68, because I do remember seeing that name with respect to Gold Gloves. So that was pretty cool. And a 1972 Topps Jose Cruz that is, in my mind, a legitimate miscut, because you can see the border of the second card over here. It's not an extreme miscut, but it is definitely a miscut, and you can see also the border of a card along that edge there, if I can get that in focus. So that's pretty cool. 1972 Jose Cruz. He had most of his best years with the Astros, but he did come up with the Cardinals. Pretty great player. So not too bad. So that was 4 packs of vintage stuff from the 70s that I got at the Olde Factory Antiques and Crafts in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. And on top of that, we got this Topps Finest Kirby Puckett card for $1. Again, I don't know what that goes for. I just thought for $1 I could probably pick that up. It's definitely something I don't have in my collection. I was like, well, why not? Okay, that's what we got there. Let me know what you thought of these in the comments. I think the pricing on those was fair, and I definitely like to open up 70s cards whenever I can. So this was pretty much fun in my eyes. Hopefully it was fun for you too. I will try to put a link down below for either their website if they have one, or if they don't, I'll try to find a social media account where they might present things. Usually Facebook is a good one to check. So thanks again for watching. Take care. Hope you all have a great day. Beep beep, everybody.